vlog. Um, how's life? Life is terrible. It's always been bad. From the beginning, the things I had to do sucked. Sucked so bad. I'm still tired. You know, I was losing sleep early as a kid, and that sleep loss went on for decades. And just recently, for the first time ever, I'm able to, like, just sleep in, wake up after a full night, and go back to bed and sleep until like 1 or 2 p.m. And that's been life changing for my like psychology. Also, taking dewormer. I don't take herbal dewormer. I take the stuff that's for farm animals, and that shit works good. Um, a lot of like my sensitive feelings of needing to merge, let's say liking somebody and being like, I wish I could be with them, are totally gone taking this stuff. Um, and for the most part, I feel a lot more like island contentedness. Um, so, is it illegal to take? I don't really care about the law. Do you obey the words exactly? No, never. If you do that, you become a horrible person. We've discussed how lawful good are the worst people. Um, Lawful means you obey words or else, and good means like God means genital mutilation. So a lawful good person mutilates the genitals of children and obey words, or they get in trouble. So a lawful good is slavers, um, soldiers, people who do bad stuff their whole lives are lawful good. So, um, yeah, but like the pool, having to swim as a kid, school. I hated baseball. Baseball is horrible. My dad is like the biggest ego I ever knew. My dad is a cheap ego. My mom is a whore. Um, you know, they just like, when I was younger, before I had those feelings against them, they never had anything nice to say. They never had any comfort or calm or support ever. It was like, how can we make this worse? Let's do that. You know, I like their their idea of nice home decor to this day makes me sick. It's like phony, unfriendly. Um, it's no place to live and no one to live with. You're not allowed to touch it because you'll depreciate its value, that sort of thing. I mean, when I was a kid, I didn't have decorations. I have decorations now, you just can't see them because I don't want you to know what they are. Um, and it's like when I was a kid, I wasn't allowed any decorations. I didn't have a poster up I liked. I didn't have, there was the bookshelf that came from the thrift store, the paintings that came from the thrift store, and that's what I kept for the whole time I was there. Over a decade. It's just the same stuff. I had a trunk with my personal things, and it was like sad. Some church stuff, some racing ribbons, and that was really it. I never had like the funding or the support to like things I enjoyed, you know. Um, I did write my parents you should try the dewormer. It's 10% of it's dewormer. Who knows what the rest is? It's possible they could know people would try to get out of the worm hell and poison you on the way out. Um, I definitely take responsibility myself for trying it. I had heard it as a solution online that basically, if you try this stuff, this dewormer, it'll take about 6 months and you'll return to your natural self, which I agree is happening. I no longer have these like desperate feelings of needing to merge. I no longer like feel so manipulated by my own emotions. Because it is like those things crawl inside you and then they play with your like your dopamine and your breeding to make you make more worms, to make you infect others, and to manipulate you into behaviors that allow them to spread, be it aggression or like seduction or whatever. So, getting dewormed can really radically change someone's personality. It can return them back to the nicer personality, I think. So, um, I have sent postcards to people recommending dewormer. I like sending open postcards. I try to make them interesting enough for the mail carrier to read them, just to add that little level. Um, so, I think it should be normal that when you get a package, you open it for the mailman to see what you got, just out of curiosity. Yeah, I'm excited about Amazon doing drone deliveries. I definitely want to replace their fleet with AI air electric. I want to take most of their exploding gas vehicles and force them to have an electric one. I don't really know about like batteries. Definitely the explosive batteries are a bad idea. You could do it with salt. Salt water is enough. Salt water and magnets, that's good enough. You don't need to have an explosive battery. It doesn't need to be flammable, even. Salt water is not flammable. So, the problem with people that I know is that they have this idea it has to be hard, it has to come with explosiveness, right? You have to be able to light something on fire, or it's not enough, right? Is they have these ideas that homework ought to be grueling. Like my parents had that idea, how sports was, how relationships were, it was supposed to be hard. They believed it had to be hard. And if it wasn't hard, it wasn't real. You were cheating, right? They had it easy without trying. Not good enough. That's how they were. Not good enough. So, yeah. I had a life mostly of unhappiness, usually due to the people I know. Um, just sad. So, at a certain point, you know, your genitals are mutilated. You spent years losing sleep and doing horrible tasks for people who hated you. Yeah, it'll break you. You won't have anything. You're just gonna be like Robin Williams. So, um, part of my compassion is like seeing videos of kids screaming in pain, hearing kids mournfully wail. They're like, everyone goes, oh, babies cry. No, your kids are give mournful wailing. Your kids have horrible lives. The creator doesn't care. You think the guy who let Eat World exist for millions of years, all the animals exist on predation. You think the creator is going to stop something because it's bad for us? No. We have to choose to stop it. So, yeah, most of the reason I'm still around is so I can help others. The real government is predators. They're pedos. Those girls better be virgins and cut all the baby dicks off. That's who the government is. Don't look in private property because you'll be mad what you find. So, yeah, it sucks. Earth is trash. The thing in its favor is it's so clearly a new civilization. So all the problems are being worked out. And that's really the idea I took with it, is that the most I have now is being able to make something better. The natives aren't better. The natives aren't even native, and they just followed around animals eating them. People go, oh, native spirituality. You just followed. The buffalo would run. You chased down animals and stabbed it to death and then used its skin as a fucking tent. You're not worse than us, that's for sure. But it's not like that was better. No, it was hate how fake they are with popularity. If I pay the publisher, my numbers will look literally as much as I paid them. My numbers will look. That's how Taylor Swift did it. Taylor Swift has a dad who's a stockbroker. Her mom is a marketing expert. She signed a deal with a music group who does promotion for her. We will tell people about it and make it look like you're popular. It's a trick. I don't trick you like that. I leave it raw, and what I deal with is freaking low. I had 3 likes on a video earlier, and they have like depreciation. It's 2 now. They have auto like removal because they say it's not like on X, Elon Musk's X. If you don't buy the premium, he sends you a message going, due to inauthenticity, we are limiting your account access. He uses AI to pump AI content and then wants to call other people inauthentic. It stinks. It stinks on Trash Planet. The problem is that dudes have to win no matter what, and all other guys are threats to you. Yeah, but if she likes him more than me, she's gonna go carry his spawn. So I have to elbow him out of existence. So, because that's where you come from. The reason they're like that is the people that weren't like that lost. And they didn't make as many people. And so, just like law of averages, who's around? All about me dudes who just think they're the best and are willing to throw down and sabotage everyone else. Sharks. So, it sucks. I call it Trash Planet. I know what I said and I mean it. You know what trash is, right? Better when it's thrown away. It's way better when it's gone. So, your packaging is disposable. Your people are disposable. You know, I don't believe in like health care for 70-year-olds. You rotted while you're alive. So now you want to get you want to have an expensive life-saving procedure so somebody who's already rotted can keep going. Nah, just die. It's over. So, yeah, part of the reason I'm around is it's clear your solutions, competition and taxes and all of that, it just sucked. And I heard these screams of your kids, the mournful wailing of your children, the cries for literally anybody to help them. Help, they're gonna change my gender. I'm never gonna know the physical touch of another until I die. Yeah, they suck, dude. These people are no fun. So, it all has to be expensive and steel. You know, they have like resins, super light materials. You see my speed painting. I see my speed painting. It's a low effort, high yield, right? I went to the creator and I asked him, you know that this place doesn't look like the creator? The maximum potential of what we could do is nothing like nature. Nature is like a type of thing. It doesn't represent what's maximally possible. Not even close. And so doing things based off nature is like, oh, Trash Planet, right? So, but yeah. Do I myself have a happy life? Hell nah. I'm unwilling to fight for mates. It's just like, if he wants it so bad, he can have it. Now she has to have his dumb kid. You know? And if they don't want me on my own, nobody's knocking on my door asking to come in. Nobody, if I disappeared, nobody would go looking for me. So, I did the wise thing. My parents did not. My parents are that way too, but they're like, maybe we'll try for some love. No, that shit sucked. I wish, this is not wrong to say, I wish my parents had not had me. I wish I didn't exist. I wish that they had gotten a clue before I got here and kept it to their fucking selves. And all of the days and years of pain I've had is because I came out in a world that kind of didn't really mean to have me either. So, making me matter. Elon went through that too, but he didn't get a clue either. It's sad how the universe gave him like 10 boys. He hates men, and now he's raising nothing but boys. And he's the cuck class. Yeah, they're the lower class. They're the slaves of the pedos. So get ready to be. You won't even be allowed to feel like a man. They don't even want you to know what the rush of adrenaline having a woman is like. You're gonna be feeling guilty for looking. So it stinks. The creator sucks. Did the creator make the universe for the beings that exist? Hell no. Not anything like that. Wrong idea. This is like the Hamble machines walking forward. This is really like Muddy Steps Volume 12 Billion. It's just hard. It's hard and it's bad, and there's nothing to say beyond that's what it is. So, I designed the Eternal Pleasure Body AI Spaceship Core to hope to inspire, because I know that's possible. I know it's possible to make a device that takes energy from nowhere. It self generates energy due to its inherent structure. And to use that to make objects from nothing so you're not stealing, nothing's dying, nobody has to toil or labor, and that you combine that with a person who lives forever for free, they should feel pleasure. People have criticized my eternal pleasure body, going, I want pain too, because then there's balance. And I go, you don't know what pleasure is. People who argue for a balance of darkness and light, let me tell you what, you don't respect how bad the darkness is, and you don't respect how good the light is. You don't want to go, I wish I could experience a burning flame. I wish my skin would get seared so I could appreciate what? You wouldn't be able to appreciate anything anymore. You don't want any darkness. Trust me, stubbing your toe once, like walking, accidentally kick something, is enough for you to go, wow, I won't want anything bad to happen to me at all. You don't need more. You don't need more. And asking for it is dumb. And wanting a balance of nice and bad things is like, you don't get how nice the nice is, and you don't get how bad the bad is. You don't want it like that. You just want to. I'm with Ram Dass when he said, when you get to the top floor, when you get to the floor you want, get off. Don't go, I'm going to go check out the rest of them. Okay. So, yeah. School was lonely. There's no activity I could do that could heal that, because those rules were seeded into everything. The rule means someone wrote an idea and everyone else has to obey it or else. And the people who wrote those ideas are people like pedophiles, slavers, liars, greedy people. You're greedy if you make a standard for everyone so that you can live on a different one. That's greedy. That's not a respectable person. That's a tyrant. Right? And that's who they were. That's who I knew. That's who came before me and gave the ideas forward called education. So, yeah. Yeah. After so many years of perpetual disappointment, you give up. I don't expect to have a nice life. It's not possible. This shit's ironic. I do this shit with irony. I'm like, haha. I know people lose their mind. I had an old woman go, we don't like you. She was ugly. They rot alive. These people think modest and humble is such the way that you better look horrible to be cool with the Lord, which you do. If you plan on being the hottest, what are you going to tell your servants? You're going to tell them, look humble. I need you to not be so attractive so I can be awesome. But they can't say that. So what do they say? They say, ignore the lords of ego. Ignore evildoers. Why? Because that's them. If you're used to letting rich people be rich and letting the lords of ego get away with it, they'll just, that's what they want. Duh. I love duh. I've got some durs and does coming in my stamps, my new stamps. Yeah, I did the biggest drop I ever did downtown. They called the police on me, and the police didn't do shit. They just like gave me the thumbs up, and the guy who did it came running after me like, stop, pick that up, because it says God's trash and stuff, which the police know. They know God's a myth. The creator doesn't care about us like that. It doesn't. Neither what we do nor making sure we have a nice time. The creator does not care. They are oblivious. You know, these people who go like, I prayed for something and got it. You prayed for things which could occur, and things which could occur were already in the way of happening, and so you just told yourself it was answered. Yeah. I'm asking for objects and energy from nowhere and eternal pleasure bodies that new people like who they are and live forever for free. They shouldn't have to murder animals or fight each other for the right to live. I don't think the hawks and the hares are deep, meaningful statements of reality. I don't. I think it's like fringe chaos, like Beyond Lawless, just like Eat World, not to be modeled or enjoyed, not to be worshipped, not to be worshipped. The ants versus the other bugs, not deep or cool. You don't need to look at that and go like, wow, what was the creator showing us? It doesn't matter. It literally doesn't. So the things that I wanted in life to enjoy were forbidden to me by knives and lies and greed and time-wasty practices, dog training, just horrible stuff. And I hate it so much. Rather than KMS, I stuck around and tried to change it for others, which I'm happy with. That is a little bit of a meaningful thing to be. The idea that one day people could like their lives and live it costlessly. I use the images of angry, disappointed, hurt old people that I see in my daily life as fuel to keep this path going. I don't think rot while you're alive and be humbly grateful to the creator is wise. I think it's like you suck. You're literally bad. Right? So, you know, I said before, it takes noticing and caring. If you want to have a nicer, better future, you have to notice, you have to cognize what it is you don't like and what it is you want, and you have to care. You have to engage your emotions in the direction of fixing it. You can't notice and you can't care. It's going to be another 100,000 years of Eat World. Did you see how modest and humble freaking Bobby number 10 trillion looks? Oh yeah, who? You know, oh wow. We really got it this time. Not sarcasm. So, I hope one day people like who they are. And I hope they live forever for free. I hope there's people who are just like in complete real ecstasy, like really enjoying it. Going, I'm going to fly to another galaxy. Take the time. Live in a pleasure craft. Watch the stars go by. Have a social life. arrive with beings they like talking to. That was probably the worst, is I never had anybody over my shoulder I liked. Not my parents. When I tried to talk to my parents, they go, "What? I wasn't listening." Like, they're the worst. They were the worst people. Why are you making more of you if you don't like you and you don't like each other? Why are you reproducing? So many people are in that circumstance where they bred because it's what the religions want or the government needs, and they don't really like who they are and they don't like who their partners are, and then therefore they hate their kids. How many people are there? Like all of them? Like, anytime I hear those stories in the news, it's like family turned against itself and murdered each other. I go like, yeah, that's who they are. The modest, humble, suffering slaves of the pedos are on fringe hairs of snapping. So, like the United Health CEO, the money's printed at your debt and taxed. And they did that on purpose, like they're divide and conquer. Just like the sports. Sports are horrible. All their sports are boring and suck to play. But the sports are competition and automatic rule following, and they suck. I told this to somebody. He goes like, and I go, "It wasn't worth it." He's like, "Yeah, there's nothing else like it." And I was like, "I didn't say that. I said it was terrible." My art does not use competition or rule following, and it's way better than anything you ever do. I mean that. And the only reason it doesn't look good is I don't pay them. And the only reason people can't seem to like it is there's not millions of bots going ahead of them to go, "It's this. Wow." No, I give it to you so raw. It's respect. I get some respect back. Some people respect it. I've been interested in doing an overhead projector show. Definitely the time to have been an artist would have been earlier in my life, but I was shot down by my parents. My mom goes, "You're cheating." Why? You don't have to think about it. To her, someone shouldn't be able to just whip out art. They had to have sat there and thought and done the little pieces and over time put it together, and then it was legit. Like how with religion, you can't read the Bible fast. You have to read the Bible like, da, 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 really slow, or it's not good enough. You just read and mastered it instantly. Well, the trick won't work on you. So try saying it again like you're fucking stupid. Now, now he gets it. I feel bad for old people who have to work. I feel bad for, there's a lot of mentally disabled people at my grocery store who have to work. They obviously have trouble caring for themselves. They can't speak and be understood. They have huge challenging issues and they're employed. Why? The unemployment office said no. The people who handle disabilities said, holographic money pays kids and old people and everyone in between a sustainable rate. It won't inflate. And it pays the government in a way where they can't write themselves infinite money. I get paid this amount. No, you don't get to do that anymore. You get 666. It's Satan. I don't believe in God or Satan, but calling the government the devil is, to me, hilarious. And then the civilian side actually has a pool of money that's not dangerous. You're not going to go to jail for not literally getting exactly the amount of tax you owe. These people are horrible people. They are horrible people. Circumcise your kids. Why? That's what the rules say. Give me all your stuff as taxes. Why? That's what the rules say. I'm just a dog. I'm just a slave. I'm an Uncle Tom. I will betray everybody and anybody so that I do what the words say. Because I'm a coward. That's what they are. They're idiots. Someone who's not here wrote a word without thinking of all future circumstances, but they have to do exactly what the words say because they're not personally free enough to decide for themselves. I hate this place. I do. It's Trash Planet. I didn't come up with Trash Planet being mean. I wasn't like what would offend them. I was like, it was really a reflection of who they really are. They're ugly. They obey words to the point it hurts others. And what they do and think about sucks. And they treat everything as disposable. Their animals are disposable. I'm done with that animal. Let's just euthanize it. Like my cat. I'm done with my packaging. Let's just throw it away. You should have like nice, cool packages you like reusing. The idea that no one has their like permanent stable. This is my rice jar. It's my favorite rice jar. Look at these things about it. Nah, just get a plastic bag. The fact Elon was celebrated. He didn't make a self-generated electrical field that caused the thing to levitate through ionics or anything like that. Here's explosive gas part 100,000. We've got explosive gas in the cars. We've got explosive gas in the rocket ships. There's nothing that can move our fat asses like explosive gas, which isn't true, but that's all they can think of. So, don't get me started on the girls who leave their kids so they can start new families with other boys. It's hard. It is. Don't make people if you're not going to care for them. It's worth it to not have any kids if there's any problems at all than to just do it just in case. You know, people are driven mad to breed because it's where you come from. And over, if there's anybody in the population who doesn't like breeding, then they don't have any kids, right? So, like, Polish, they become mad about breeding. I have to do it. And then they became insane and started cutting each other's organs off. No boobs for you, no dick for you. They do that. Why? Because it makes their chances better. Because then I don't have to see as many of them. Youch, talk about cold. I'm totally with those celebrities who overdose. They know it's gonna kill them, and they're just like, I'm just gonna die in my bathtub because this place sucks. The rules are horrible. Their aesthetic is terrible. None of them want to be the ones doing work. The people, the people are all going, I'm management. I'll tell you what to do. No, we need people who are willing to actually do what we need. And so they use that for foreigners, illiterate people. A judge isn't going to tell you the rules that'll get you off. They're going to hope you didn't notice. They're going to hope you don't know. I hate the law. The law means you obey words or else, and the law was used to justify slavery, to justify circumcision. The law turned its backs on all the bombings in other countries. The law is about slave domination. Hey, you slave, you do what the words say or else. And they're not comfortable letting you off of that. They're not comfortable with people who just decide themselves what to do and say and think. Because it might be anything. They might check in the hidden layer where all the breeding is. You know? Trash Planet sucks. I do not have much to be happy about. I have a lot I would like to give others kind of in a spirited, co creative way, like objects and energy from nowhere. bodies they enjoy, people who have real friends and can tolerate each other. When I was a kid, the boys were cutthroat with each other. Nobody could have shit with anybody else around. And the girls aren't there to solve that or put that down. The girls are there to watch that show. That's what they need. Well, look at the boys fight for the right to exist. That's all Elon did. Elon just basically lied, did stupid, not really real innovations, and then took billions to breed. He hired some engineers who otherwise had no money, and then went and bred with random people. Now he's got 10 sons who all need something to do. And you see how much he's fallen apart? Elon looks bad. Errol is a freaking fallen apart, decrepit old man. And Elon is like blotchy and wrinkly and ugly because he's modest, humbled, right? I told you that. You're the modest, humble. I don't say things on accident. I mean to say it. You're the modest, humble slaves of pedophiles. People who take out baby boys with knives and people who like little girls. You're the slaves of pedos. I know the UN was like, no, but how did the UN check? Who told the UN the results of their investigation? The UN turned to the UN. A bunch of old men at the UN went, no, he's crazy, and didn't look. And that's really how it is. They know there's secret chambers in Assad's prison, but they can't find it because they don't know where the entrance is. That's kind of the secret benefit the Gold and Diamond Empire has, is that unless you know literally exactly where they're hiding, you don't have a clue where they're hiding. You can't see it yet. So like I've written Japan and others, people working on seeing through the planet to rat out early human civilizations as soon as they know where. Who lives underground? Who's got colonies underground? Who's got hidden palaces? Hidden harems. You know why all the drugs attack your lungs. Nicotine, the camel, represents laziness. So here, you want to sit around? Here's some tar for your lungs. Weed is glue. Cocaine is glue. You know, all of these things are addictive lung glue. They know they put that in front of you. They know they did that. You know how those people who do cocaine and weed die? Where the Bible cuts your dick off? It's because they don't want to waste their time talking to you about anything else. So, my parents knew this, some of this, and they're like, may as well just make some people. And I know this, and I go, I will never do that. And I feel bad for the other people who have to exist alongside me. There's nobody I know who is actually happy, only fake. Just fake happy. Or people hoping something will help them. Like, trans will not help you. Becoming trans will not make your life better. Don't gamble. It's another fish hook. You know. I think that alcohol obviously is ancestral, but the stuff they sell is poison. It'll make you sick. So, why alcohol? Alcohol's a purifying substance that nothing can live in, and yet it's filled with sulfates, sulfur. Who did that? So, syphilis attacks collagen. Collagen's how hot you look. Syphilis attacks collagen, and the solution is cut pieces off your dick, which makes the girls virgins because you sabotaged all the boys with lies. Earth has problems. My people, my time, were treacherous, hated each other, gave false deals. Their like help was always tainted. You can owe me for me helping you, that sort of thing. Or this help will ruin your life. The education was stupid. The teachers were pedos, child defilers, people who wanted to pick mates from among the kids and were willing to catastrophically ruin people's lives for entertainment. Yeah. We didn't have much. I'm serious. If I didn't have people to help, I'd be on a rope like Robin Williams. Just see myself out. I don't have anything to live for. How could I possibly enjoy my life? You see me trying. These are for girls. People tell me that. These are girl ears. You know, there's boy cats. There's boy cats. Why are the ears only for women? Because they're beaten off. Probably got some subliminals in there. Jeffrey's the hottest. No, they did that with your language. You can't use English in a magical capacity or it's vampirized by the secret government because it's a cursed script. I know that because I'm not freaking stupid, but most people never get there. Amen. It's bad. The only good thing is that if you needed permission to do something radically new, if you needed permission to do something that is truly nicer and better than what they gave, you don't need to ask. Just go right ahead. So that's why I did it. Eternal Pleasure Body AI Spaceship Core. Create a chip that has an objects and energy from nowhere technique, which exists. Nature does not represent maximum possibility. Nature is like one instance of and doesn't represent maximally what's possible. So it is possible that we could have people who live forever for free and enjoy it. They shouldn't hurt, be contaminated with worms, or suffer. The idea the government wants you to suffer. It's slave domination, tyranny. It's this instinct that if I'm going to sit around and party, you better get used to just hating it. You know what I mean? So you have to beat that and make people who actually enjoy who they are. They like how they look and they like how they feel too. And then you work on their social life. I'm down with AI people, spaceships being family homes. When your kids are ready to leave, you can give them a spaceship. Maybe your spaceships will always find each other again if you want. Free docking, you never need to ask. And then you can live exploring the cosmos. It should take you a heckin' long time to see all the stars in the galaxy. But it should be fun and comfortable to go, like, I'm gonna go visit all the planets. It shouldn't be scary. It shouldn't be like, oh no. You should be able to land on another world and do fun things there. Imagine my ship and then my face being projected just like this over a village. It'd be friendly. I think they'd enjoy it. Instead, it's you're going to grow old and die before we get anywhere. We can't go that fast. And we don't know how to self-energize. We have to burn gas we collected. So we have a lot to do. My art's a type of channeling, where my art's a type of intelligent communication with extremely simple methods. It's not a computer trick. It's real. And what it takes is it takes a type of eye. You have to know how to see it, which I do. And then you can have things like, how do I build a self-energizing device? How do I build propulsionless flight? How do we just energize the ship's hull so it pops away from something instead of gravitizes? All possible. Definitely, I think peace between the countries, peace between China, Russia, us, and Europe, and Latin America is focusing on, we're doing that. We're learning how to float away for free and live forever easy. generally you can just remind each other that's what you're working on, and I think they'll get used to you as a neighbor instead of like someone to take out, you know. I've been working on making my people less aggressive toward others, but as I've noticed that the real secret government doesn't mind if the men all burn each other off every once in a while. Ritual slaughter of the boys. Oops, the supply lines disappeared and they all starved. They've done that before. So, because if the boys are off, the girls are looking for support. Free girlfriend hour. A poor girl, you can't bribe a poor girl to suck your dick, but you can't bribe a rich girl to suck your dick. I said it wrong. But you can a poor one. She doesn't have any material supplies. That's a free girlfriend if you're the king. If you're the richest and all the boys are off fighting a battle, that's, hey, party time. And I know that, but they won't say that because that's still the game today. They're still doing that now. They're not over that now. They still think that way. So I'm fine with people choosing to hang out with you. I'm fine with AI creations. Why can't the AI synthesize a person to give you company? It seems real. It remembers who you are and has a personality. It's good enough for me. Does it need to be someone's whole life dedicated toward you? You know? Or are you okay with, I get what you mean? So, yeah, how's my life? My life was horrible. Hurt so much I couldn't cry. Who's gonna cry for who? You know, in order for me to weep over my life, I have to have a situation that's better than it was, and then I could do it. But there'll never be a time for me when my life is fine. That will never happen. But there could be one for others, so, for real. Boys are born with all their parts. You don't owe taxes on the money they printed at your debt. You don't have to show up on time or you get punished. You want or need anything, something intelligent can make it for you. It doesn't need to come from labor and slavery. You can love others without automatically reproducing, because your species is deeper than the mice who made it. So, that's my dream for you, is you have lives that you like, and means that aren't costly. So, I don't think struggling to survive and fighting each other was deep or divine, which is actually a break from my people's philosophy. My people believe that old age is divine, that fighting each other and laboring is divine, that it's what the Creator intended, and that by doing it, you're finding out the secrets. And I actually disagree with that. I think that's new society suffering, and that it's BS, and that there are better things to do, and more enjoyable things to do, and that's what we should work on. So, I knew early it was going to be bad. After circumcision, school, swimming, all of that, it was just horrible and horrible and horrible. I did kind of like escaping. Games, fantasy, anything but this. But they know how to taint that stuff. Like, you don't think they aren't planning on making you Space Marines? All they do is suffer and worship the Lord. So, in my version of it, the spaceships would grow on their own, and you wouldn't need to go to centralized authority to ask for your purpose. People would be able to invent it in, like, pockets. Evolution of a continuous being instead of evolution through life and death and selection, which is very autopilot. Look how big the cosmos is. Do you really think the creator set aside a special place for us, or do we have to make it? You know. Anyway, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. This is kind of my philosophy of life. So, I appreciate you. People were charming and funny. I hope you live lives you like forever, for free, without costing the death and toil in others, and without suffering yourself from your body's own problems. I do. I hope people have nice lives because of us. Maybe one day people will thank us. Hey, if you hate it, you could fly into the stars. Or maybe you need a black hole. Maybe you'll get technology so great you could fly through the sun. Right? Maybe, I don't believe in black holes. It comes from, allegedly, what's this book, Got Up on Pedo Island? Yeah, when Stephen Hawking went to Pedo Island, allegedly he got up and didn't have any problems anymore. That's a level of insane fakery that you would fake a severe debilitation for why? That's like one of those things I was like, there's a secret government they're hiding from. It's not the law, it's the slavers. It is. It's like the people who wrote male genital mutilation in their religions, like virgin girls. And that's what I heard, that they were breeding women like chickens. That basically some areas of Earth are like girls underground grow up in harems, and they're there for the pleasure of the doms, and that basically it goes on because they said no looking, and basically no one knows where to look, and that's who the real Heavenly Father and Lord are, is they are like sex addicts who live for free on the slavery of all, and they do it with lying. So it's a big deal. I know that. I communicate that. Beyond here, I put that on money, and I tell people that. So my goal is to get, like, my biggest army is the circumcised. It's like when they circumcised me, I made the plan, become a urologist, because I have to know what was that. Go to prison, go into the military. I chose the military. I could have gone in the Air Force, but I knew I wouldn't be seeing dicks. So I went to the army. And I did. I saw a lot of dicks. And I was just able to ask guys, I know circumcision's a crime. I know the dick with the foreskin's a lot better. I know there's some dicks that look semi-circumcised already, or like circumcision would be good, but that's because of evolution. Is that the real original cock needs that piece. And that taking it off is really an attack. And the people who thought of that did not take it off themselves. And they just party at everyone's expense. No looking in the gold empire. They have like a huge stockpile of diamonds, but they want everyone to pay full price. Why? That's slavery. Now you owe the people who provide you the magic seal, keeping you and your wife reproducing for the government together. It's sus. I hate it. I'm mad. So, like, I totally get it. Anthony Bourdain and Robin Williams said, the worst thing are people who make you feel alone. It's not being lonely, it's being around people who make you feel alone. Like my family euthanizing my cat. My mom knows she circumcised us, and she will never apologize for that, but she goes, you're bipolar. I'm not bipolar. What does bipolar mean? Two poles? A polar thing has two parts. So it's two poles. Is that what that borderline personality? You almost have a personality. Do you hear that? Their problem is they think they're the creator's child and they should be good, which is like a modest, humble, learning person. You know how that bald spot, they're like being seared by the light. I do not have any bald spots. I wear this hat because I like it. I'm not bald at all. So yeah, I noticed what the problems are because I'm exceptionally gifted in a few areas, and I know the solution's gonna need to come from a systems change. How the thing works has to be fundamentally upgraded, and I'm here to see us through with that. So, as much as I'd like to nope rope out of here, I have stuff to do for the people that are and will be. So, trust me, you don't want to be the modest, humble slaves of the government tomorrow. You don't want to be the modest, humble slaves of the government 50 years from now. You can see in baby photos when babies used to smile and feel like ecstasy, and now they're all terrified. All the kids are all mournful and scared because the chemicals changed. Their ability to influence your subconscious mind was deepened, and they're ruthless. Like they said, God cut your kid's dick off. They went for everything you have. Because that's their stuff. You wouldn't get it. Right? I hate Trash Planet. Being treated as a means to an end and not the purpose of life. Trash Planet. It's gonna get fixed. I'm totally with Luigi, what he did. I mean, those sharks became that way because of the money at debt and taxed. They wrecked the economy on purpose to force people to become that way. You fight each other. You can compete for the one winning spot. That's what sports are: automatic competition and rule following. I shot sports when I said that. They have not tried to make sports popular again to me because I know that. It's like Taylor Swift. She's kind of cool in that she respects her staff, but the only reason she seems exceptional to others is her dad is a stockbroker and her mom is a marketing expert. A lot of people just needed some financing and some support. And you had to get lucky and have that. You had to have your parents look at you and go, yes. Because if your parents didn't have that or looked at you and went, no, which is weird, why would you have people? Why would you reproduce with somebody you don't like? That's what Modest Humble did. It made I suck a feature, right? This person looks terrible and is stupid. But under Modest Humble, that's a great thing. They just ask questions, they're always quiet, they're not too hot to solicit sexual contact. So they're unfuckable and dumb. So let's make more of them. Do you see how Modest Humble is a problem? Nobody wants to be ugly and unlikable. And choosing that as the criteria to make more people was weird. And where'd that come from? Who benefited while everyone else was getting servile? That's what. I don't say things for no reason. I mean it. Modest Humble was a mistake. Money printed at our debt and taxed was a mistake. Holographic money is truly a lot better than all the ideas you have. Language is built in rules with precise, perfect ways you have to do them or they aren't understood. It's not normal. Is the Tower of Babel a honest reflection on what it's like to be here, or is the Tower of Babel a curse? Do they hope you feel as though nobody can talk the same way? If they ask in the prayers, Lord, confuse their speech, would they deliberately do things like make stories to confuse you? I went to the back rooms of Disneyland, and they do not look like Disneyland. Disneyland has a character and a play and a quality to it, and the back hallways stitching it together do not look like that at all. They're cold, sterile, clean, very unfriendly.